Sweet, healthy.
All right, you guys, you ready to knock into this thing?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. Today I have with me 4 members, the whole band, Easy Honey. How are you guys doing?
Woo! Yeah.
Doing great.
Yeah, good to meet y'all, man. I'm glad y'all could come in. I hope the road's been treating y'all well and everything. Said you were chilling in Starkville, Mississippi for a few nights, just hanging?
Just hanging,
No
man.
details, just hanging? Just hanging?
It's off the record.
Hey,
off the record.
yeah.
It's technically Eupora, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah, just west of Starkville. We're out in the country writing some tunes.
Word.
What else were we doing?
Running the cows.
Yeah, running around.
Running the herd around?
Team exercises.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's been great. So
Well,
yeah,
awesome.
a couple of days off.
Let's get started on this thing. You guys tell me each your names, occupations in the band, and ages, if you don't mind. That'd be great.
Ooh, age. 24. I'm Webster, Austin, and is that the camera and that the camera?
This is just a camera right there. There's no camera in there, but
Okay.
I understand your confusion.
It looks like a machine gun, but anyway. And then I play the bass.
Word. Okay.
Darby McAlone. We gotta say age, huh?
You don't have to. Yeah, you can skip it.
No, I'll say age. I just feel like coming after young Winthrop.
Yeah, the young
It's,
guy over here.
Yeah, young guy. I'm 28.
Word.
And I play guitar. And sing.
Interesting. Got an interesting accent going on. I'm gonna ask you about that later. I don't know what's up with that. How about you right here?
I'm Charlie Holt. I play the
Oh.
drums, and I'm 18 years old.
Word. Okay. Really? I was gonna say no fucking way, bro.
I'm 27.
Nice. Okay. Sweet.
I'm Selby. I'm 28. I play guitar and sing.
Sweet. So you're the only singer in the band. Anybody else sing any?
He's a singer.
Oh,
we
okay, sorry.
we trade singing.
And
Okay.
Charlie sings.
And Charlie, we actually all just got mics. There was a new thing. We're four vocal mics on stage.
Really?
Which is,
I like that.
yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool.
Yeah. it's
Sound
been fun.
guys hate it. We love it.
Yeah. The big 4-way harmony thing going on, maybe.
Yeah,
for
sometimes.
some.
For some, yeah. We're kind of ganging it.
Three-way harmony for gang.
4 gang.
Yeah.
4 for yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And
Love that.
And Nas.
Awesome. Well, kind of tell me a little bit about you guys. I really know literally nothing about you guys. I've only been following you guys for a few months. Saw you on like this Stu's Atlas rounds and all that stuff, and I was like, "Who's these guys? Pretty cool. Good looking in the Garrett pictures and everything." I was like, "Damn, these guys got it going on."
We did the same for you.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad to hear that. We're in the Garrett Cardoso universe / Brack's business.
He's got his own. Yeah, they have their own universe.
Well, yes. Tell me a little bit about where you guys are all from, where you met, like the origin of the band is what I would like to hear to start with, if you don't mind. Taking it way back.
Well, yeah. So taking it way back, Darby, Charlie, and I met at Swanee in Tennessee, which is a university there up in the mountains.
I've heard of that.
Pretty-
It's a place up there people play, right? Big venue.
You might be thinking of Suwannee in like Florida.
I
Suwannee,
might be mistaken. Okay.
Well, the Caverns is
Or you're
close to
thinking,
there.
yeah, the caverns.
Yeah, there's.
Okay.
It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But that's how we met there, and started writing songs as friends and playing fraternity shows.
Okay.
And shooting fish in a barrel,
Nice,
that kind of thing.
As you
Because
do.
there was not a lot of we actually came in on the tail end of some bands.
Okay.
There was not a lot of bands when we were there,
Yeah.
which was crazy. There were a couple, and so anyway, yeah. So we wrote songs together, and right at the end, we kind of said, hey, like this is really cool. Let's go record this music, and decided to keep the band going. And we went and recorded what became our first album.
Awesome.
Just to really with the intent of like bringing a CD to a bar,
Gotcha.
or
Yeah,
like to
evidence. kinda.
like hey, here's our original tunes. This is what we're all about. And so, we did that, and we relocated to Charleston. I had lived there for a summer,
Okay.
and
this, when you're releasing this record, it's what, like 2018, 2019? Something
yeah,
like that,
it was
somewhere in
like
there?
it was
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Sweet. So a couple years ago.
Yeah,
And was the band called Easy Honey at that time, or like?
it was,
Okay, cool.
yeah. But man, we our old bass player Austin Dar was he was still in school, and so we got to Charleston and found a new bass player, Dan, who played with us for a couple years, and it was an interesting string of events as far as like that, and then COVID, and everyone talks about COVID and all
Gotcha.
What happened there, but really it's like we're just really feeling like we're getting after it as a group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've known each other here for a hot minute, but we've only been touring for like a year, really.
Really?
So it's
Okay.
so it's been really it's been really fun getting to go out and tour and play the tunes, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been
Word.
fun.
So like, I guess you would have been getting started when the whole COVID thing happened. So that kind of took the wind out of your sails for a little while. You say?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we were like, funny. You mentioned the Atlas guys. It was hilarious. They were on the They were like on the pioneering edge of the live stream. So we were like the live stream guinea pigs.
Interesting. Okay.
For some of the first ones.
And they were also our neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it worked out. They were.
Oh, really?
Dude, these guys would roll up and like the roller skates and skateboards and shit, and just bombard our house, and we'd live stream just like
No way.
nonstop.
You'd be amazed how many fucking podcasts I've had on the show in like 2018 where I was like, fucking live streams are next level, guys. This is it right here, you guys. This is it. We're going to start streaming shows. It's going to be it right there. Oh, sorry, man. That stand sucks. My bad.
No, I
Think you wheeled it back in there? Well, that's awesome. When do you two come into picture, though? Or you said it was you two met at Swanee, right?
We three did.
We three did.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And when does the web start kind of weaving into y'all?
Interwoven web.
Into a woven web.
Good pun.
This last year.
Yeah.
This last year, you just graduated.
We're brothers. We don't know if we mentioned that.
Yeah.
It'd been mentioned.
Oh, okay. So we're brothers, and funny you said about the there weren't a bunch of bands when y'all were there. It was the same for me. It was like I was the only band, so you kind of, I hate this term, cut your teeth, but like you just play a shit ton, and then right as I was getting out of school, they called upon me, and that was a year ago. So
There he was.
and the stars aligned.
Well, what did you guys think about, like, I asked a lot of bands this, like, from smaller towns, like, did you find it to be a major hindrance that there weren't any other bands? I don't know if hindrance is a word, but, like, was it like a crutch, or was it like, oh, we're immediately the biggest band in this town, and, like, people want to come see us because there's no other bands?
I think that can happen. I think that can happen in like larger universities too, but our school is so small. I mean, I don't know, was it?
I feel like it was more of just like this wave of older bands passed, and there was this void that needed to be filled.
Exactly.
And we had started playing together, found a space, and there was opportunity. It was like, boom, let's do it.
Love that. And you'd be amazed, like, how that gap really can be empty sometimes. Like, when a big band breaks up, like AFTM or something, it's like, damn, there's really no big hitter here right now or something. You know what I mean? So
did they break up?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Long story.
Are they from here?
They are from here.
Okay.
They're really, really good. They still stream a ton. I don't know if you ever noticed that. You go look at the bottom, everybody's streaming. They stream a ton. I wish they'd get back together. They're great. They're kind of, I mean, not similar to you guys, but like the same like concept, I suppose, you know?
Interestingly enough, I don't know a lot about their tunes, but we're on the similar artist kind of thing. Every once in a while, I see them pop up, and it seemed like it. Yeah,
they came to Swanee once.
Did they?
And I remember liking the brother thing. You know?
Yeah, the two brothers.
And I'll sometimes and because they're literally twins.
Yeah, they look just like each other.
And so it's like, imagine if you're like stoned at the concert and you're watching them, you're like, think you're seeing double. And so I've thought about that often. We don't look alike as much. We probably diverge, but a lot of people think we are twins too.
Interesting. Well, when you guys started playing though, like what was the conversation like? Was it like, we're gonna make this kind of tunes, we're gonna be this kind of vibe, or was it like, we don't know, like we'll figure it out as we go, or like was there like a vibe talk or a direction talk?
Nothing,
no?
dude.
Nothing.
No. we've been like honing that for the last 4 years, I'd say.
Love that. As you should.
It's very much just like natural, organically like started playing things, and we all happen to have, I'd say, similar styles but different influences, and it came together in a cool way. It
seems like it, and I never hear anything in you guys' catalog that's like wildly like that someone else wrote that one. You know what I mean? Like it all sounds like you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's good. And like another question off the origin thing, like did you guys start just playing covers, or was it like straight out the bat with the original tunes? You know, did you do the cover rounds, cut your teeth?
Definitely covers.
Yeah, we did some covers.
When we started playing, before we found Dar, we had this older dude who was like a established bass player on campus, and he played with all the bands. So we started playing these like formals, fraternity formals, sorority formals, and with that comes like, okay, we gotta fill 3 hours of music and a bunch of covers. And so with that, we started playing all these covers. And then he graduated, and then we started to kind of kick our own things into gear in the original music. I'd say like junior, senior year.
Word. Okay. Wow. So you guys were on it pretty early. I mean, that's pretty quick, right?
I always had it in my mind that y'all like always played originals from the get go.
We had some.
Which
Oh, you don't
is
remember-
that true?
No,
With
no.
him leaving, I mean, is that true?
I'm not going to answer that question, but I am going to say that what was hilarious was he's an extremely talented musician, like one of those kind of like almost savant type guys, like
John
really,
Cochran.
yeah, John, we love you. If somehow you're watching this,
Somehow.
ever, we love you so much. But it was one of the, he was kind of the cat who's like, yeah, it's 145, like I know, I got it, it's like I got it. And then I remember we were kind of tearing it down before this formal, and he kind of like looks at me, he's like, right before we start, he's like, what are the chords to this again? And like, his like, he was like destroyed all my confidence in this show we were about to have in front of like, they brought a tent in and all this stuff, which then is like this,
it's crazy big.
It's but yeah, so I'm, I don't know. I think one thing interesting about our tunes is, I think it started like this, where I think I just realized this, Darbs, but it used to be this. I think we definitely used to put a piece of his song together, put a piece of my song together, his melody over, this verse, vice versa.
Okay.
And I think we did that a lot, starting out, and then like kind of in the middle albums, right when we moved to, the tweeners, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We kind of like dove off, and now kind of like recently we've been kind of like doing that again. And, I think it's producing some really cool stuff. So I'm super excited about the tunes. Yeah.
That's great, man. So it's a very collaborative thing with you guys. Like how often does somebody just bring in a full song? Like, here it is, let's throw your parts on it. Often, rarely.
So, sometimes, but it's usually it definitely undergoes a little, tweakage. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
In the early stage, that it gets thrown into the mix, and then it's on the chopping block, and then and then we're jamming, and then it finds its way. I'd say.
That's good description of it. I'll take that. Love that. Okay, well, sweet. What were you guys like what was, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to get like down to the bottom of like what got you guys taken at the start. Like, was there like a certain genre you're shooting for? Like, when somebody asks you guys what genre you are, which is like one of the toughest questions ever, what would you say, hypothetically or realistically?
Like today, or when we were like forming as like college kids?
I'd like to hear both, if you don't mind.
I mean, one was like, not party rock, but it was kind of like shit. I don't know. You could take
like,
this one.
I think that's right. Like power pop rock.
Yeah.
And we had Bert, who was like all about that. He was kind of breathing that down.
Yeah.
Their older brother, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Who was an influence for us in terms of shaping us in our, like, organizing us as a band, getting our songs together in the catalog. That, I don't know. I'd say like power pop kind of party rock.
Yeah.
College days, that's kind of what we were like. Yeah,
man.
But
Formal.
Yeah, we played a formal.
You want me to
How
take
about
this
now,
one?
though?
Sure.
Now,
Take
go
it,
ahead.
take it.
Go ahead, Web.
We were in Omaha, Nebraska the other day,
Yeah.
and doing this interview, and we kind of realized
Flex.
that flex,
Love
yeah.
Love that.
This man is not going to let the flex
Let that
slide.
go.
I love it. You need to make sure you call his ass out.
American
on
Psych.
flexes.
American Psych. So, no, it was like outside on a bench. Anyway, so
Subtle
it's not
flex?
too subtle flex.
Yes, okay.
And but anyway, we realized kind of like I had my own idea what the band was because I was in high school and they were like kind of forming. I was like, oh, like so it was real romanticized for me. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of figured out the other day that like in this weird way, I kind of have a like maybe not historically accurate view of like how it was or how it is now, but like a well shaped and molded one.
Yeah.
But no, for me, we've kind of just like really had this epiphany like pretty recently. But we went to college at this really romanticized, idealistic place.
Okay.
And it's just from knowing like Darby and Charlie, obviously I knew Selby, but like knowing their relationship, I was like, it's like kind of about them in like a romantic poem. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just their personality of like, oh, everything's good and like life's great and you know, like we live in this, you know, great time and the songs are about love and walking under the stars.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
And then like the party rock jam. So it was like really mirrored in their lives at the time and their friendship.
Interesting.
And then I feel like what Selby was speaking to is like then they moved and like it's not that was shattered, but like the landscape changed and just the landscape of like being like not in college anymore. And and with that just came new like tumultuous subject matter.
Interesting.
And I kind of think now we're getting back to like, well, what's the beauty and then what's the yin and the yang? Is it yin and the yang?
Yeah.
I always used to say yin, but anyway, like where's the beauty and like the good with the bad?
Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, that was deep. Nice. Well, when you say you romanticized a band because you were just watching it, do you mean like you were just a kid, like, oh shit, they're in a band, or like, you know what I mean?
There's just something about when you're in high school and you have those feelings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's something about that age, like 18, 19, and that's why like some of the greatest songs are written around then is like you're full of so much, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, yeah, so I was looking on that. And same within college too, and same with now. But yeah, it's really, I was idealizing their imagined, idealization.
That's dope. Yeah. What do you think about that? You sound like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with all that. Trying to answer your question though, I know we said indie, like the now genre.
Yeah.
Indie surf rock is it. What's interesting, that's what we were chatting about. Indie rock is so broad.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
anything.
what does that mean?
Yeah. It's
like,
easy to use that, I suppose.
Like, yeah, it really is.
But
and
you
when
guys have a little bit of that in there. You can hear it, you know what I mean? In a way, to me at least.
Yeah, because you and I, or we're like, we all have this kind of understanding of what that means, but it is so, it's so broad.
Yeah. So you throw the surf in there, it's not really the subject matter for that, it's the vibe, right? Like the lightheartedness of it.
A bit. It's also like...
But it's also not.
The surf,
which is so
the surf
weird.
is kind of the equivalent of like, I'm just having this idea, but it's like their equivalent of, oh man, it's all good. But now we're at the ocean.
Interesting.
So that's kind of the surfing.
Living in Charleston's weird, man.
Yeah, I could see
it's
that.
It's really weird. It's like everyone's
boggling.
It's like everyone's going to the beach,
Yeah.
It's like I don't know who said this, but I was reading some songwriter was talking about it. He's like, like I live in this beautiful place, but I still gotta like hole myself up in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
And like
gotcha.
still feel the world, and like what's been so cool about touring, honestly, is like being away from home, which has been so nice. Like I don't know, like I feel like sometimes that writing is hard on the road and like
Me too. It's like your mind is either in one space or the other to me.
Yeah.
Kind of. But
well, like we've just had a couple of days, like we've had like 2 to 3 day stretches where we've chilled.
Okay.
And like a lot of these are like first time markets, so we're not trying to sell, it's like it's just like we're going to play the shows. We're going to make fans, you know what I mean? So like that's been fun.
I saw a few videos on you guys' Instagram. It looked like you guys would just post it up somewhere writing and just uploaded it or like jamming on guitar. I was like, sick, dude. I was like, wicked.
Yeah.
I think the more we've become like comfortable with touring, the more you're less like, oh my God, like, how does the sound check go? And it's just more like, all right, that's what it is. That's going through the steps. But
this is how your sound check goes. More bass.
More bass.
Nothing else in this monitor but bass.
Crank it up.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean though, because when you kind of start, it's like I'm like anxious, like, we fucking gotta be at sound check at 4:35. They're gonna be fucking pissed, you know what I mean? And like, gotta be ready, gotta be set up, merch table, all this. I gotta be there,
I think bands aren't late until like they've done it enough where they know they can be late.
They know they can be late. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Interesting. Well, kind of tell me about like, let's see, where do I want to go with that? When you start getting on the road, like how many fans, like when you're starting out, I assume you don't have many fans in like other markets, right? You kind of been building on that. Has that been like the goal lately? Like take this farther than Charleston, Swanee, you know what I mean? And wherever you guys are from individually, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We've been, so like, and I guess the year that we've been touring, the East Coast has been sweet to us. Like we've really had some really, we have some good markets.
Sweet.
It's been
It is
so sweet
wonderful.
to us.
So sweet.
But it's been really nice. And
what areas on the East Coast? Any towns in particular you guys consider a hot spot for you for easy
Yeah.
hunting shows?
yeah, I mean, just starting in the South. I mean, I would say so Charleston, Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, DC, New York,
Nice.
Boston.
Oh, nice.
Boston.
Maybe not.
Boston, we always play really well, and then it's always like a medium to good turnout. It's not
You
the
get that
like,
in some markets,
it's,
you know. You
it's
get
not
that
the best turnout, but we always play really because
about
it's like a gritty town, you know.
Yeah.
But we're definitely down for the. I mean, man, we're here to connect with people,
Word.
one fan at a time. And but so let me back up. This last month is just headed out west to a place we never played. So we played in Texas for the first time,
awesome.
and
Sweet. Austin or something?
yeah, we did Dallas and Austin.
Oh, that's wicked. What a drive. How was the drive? Not
Oh, it
bad.
was great.
It's
Yeah.
great.
It was really great.
Yeah?
Yeah, we met up with Garrett in New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans too was a first time play. It was that was great turnout.
And to
Good.
Oxford, Mississippi.
Oh yeah, and we had so Webster and I are from Memphis, and we've
Really?
never been to Oxford to play.
Really?
So we finally played, and it was great.
What's the name of that place? Poor Larry's?
Proud Larry's.
Yeah.
Larry's, right?
You
How
might as
was
well
it?
be a poor. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
It was good?
No, it's a good show. Yeah.
Yeah.
The, the pasta was terrible.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't. It was
good.
so good.
Hey,
You just
that's
ate
just
too
his, that's
fast.
this guy's opinion.
we all like got 4 pasta dishes,
Yeah.
and like it was one of those. Yeah, I mean, one of the weird shows where like you're checking and you're like, did anyone eat dinner? And everyone's like, no, but we're
Yeah.
about to play.
20
And
minutes.
so, and everyone plays, and then everyone like afterwards is like, he like scarfs down a whole plate of like pasta that had like the cheese had dried.
Oh, word.
It was
Great venue,
Been there,
bad
been there.
pasta.
yeah.
How
Oh,
was New Orleans? Where'd you guys play there? Gascasa?
Yep.
How was that?
Great.
Great.
It's
Yeah,
really
good time.
Tell
fun.
the story.
Tell the
What
story.
about the fridge.
Oh my god, this was so funny. The opening band was about to start, and people are starting to file in.
Uh-huh.
I guess I don't even know the story. What is?
You want me to tell the
Yeah,
story?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna hand off the story. I'll start it.
Yeah. Start up.
So we do the sound check. Everything's great. Like, oh man, it sounds really good in here, and
Yeah.
we didn't have any expectations.
No one thought
of-
that. We thought it sounded terrible, but go ahead.
Okay, kind of a tough room to work with.
Okay.
Anyway, we love the place.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're there, and like all these people are filing in, and we had a couple of good local openers, and
Uh-huh.
but we're like, hell yeah, man! Like we're about to like let it rage, and it was like a Wednesday, and
Oh,
we're
that's
like,
tough.
so no expectations, and then like you would have swore all of Tulane was walking in there, and
Really?
because it's in the center of like 3 different colleges.
Really?
Yeah, and
Interesting. Sounds
Tulane
nice.
and maybe Loyola, and there's a
Yeah.
great music scene down there. And,
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say here is
Started filling in pretty
yeah,
decently.
yeah.
Oh, shout out.
Hold the mic
My
out.
boy.
Any thoughts on that? My brother knows he's on camera. Now he's just being excessive. What were you
man.
saying? I lost track.
Okay, so it's like right before the show, and and then I'm like, I walk into the venue, and I'm like, man, it smells so bad in here. It's like repulsively bad smelling.
As does everybody who's walking in. They're like,
Yeah, and not just like a regular bad venue smell of just like beer seeping into the wooden floors.
The usual smell.
The usual stuff,
Uh-huh.
or vomit or whatever. But this was like something was dead in
It
there.
was something rancid.
Yeah,
Ew.
And
I'm handing it off.
meanwhile, I'm upstairs in the green room, and I'm like exploring a little bit as I do.
As you did.
Curious.
As you did. Uh-huh.
I see a shelf of PBRs,
Okay.
and I'm like, okay, there's a fridge underneath here. Let's see what's going on in the fridge.
Yeah.
Open up the fridge. There's the that's the culprit right there.
What
I don't
is
know if
it?
it's I don't know, man. It was like
Bro,
a dead raccoon or something.
No.
Dude, it was like
What
and
in
then
the New Orleans
I
is
closed
this?
it. What in God name of New Orleans is this?
Yeah.
And I shut it immediately.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh God, it's like you open
It's your
Pandora's
game.
box. That's all there
No.
can be done. And
Yeah.
from there, it was like this slow leak. But I didn't know if that was for sure it.
Slow
And then I
and constant.
Slow and constant.
ever present.
And then all of these like friends that we hadn't seen forever, they're like, "Man, so stoked to see you play." And then we're like, "Oh man, it's embarrassingly bad smelling in here." So we're all up in the green room, and
we're
we're
so
like,
stoked to see you play.
It smells like shit in here.
yeah. And so we're jamming. I remember we were jamming,
Yeah.
but meanwhile, like we kept sending like one after another person down to the very busy single bartender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've informed him at this point like a couple of times
Yeah.
that there's a really bad stink in the fridge, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like I'm on it. I gotta serve these beers, but I'm
Yeah.
on it." I'm like, "Dude, the longer you wait, the worse it's getting, man." So we came up with a system where we're like shuttling people down like every 3 minutes, be like, "Hey man, so like, can I get a beer? And how about that stink, dude? Can you like please take care of that?"
What the fuck?
And
It smelled worse downstairs, oddly.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't need, guys, thinking back about this, I don't even know why it started smelling in the first place. Like it's like doors open and it's like, oh, there was a draft.
That's what
and
I
like,
was wondering. Is
had
if it smelled fine until you opened the door, or it
Yeah.
already smelled bad?
No,
I
I
think
don't-
that
It was definitely the fridge.
it was
It was
but-
like rotten.
yeah, but why did it start
was-
smelling? Did someone bring it in? Like
They lit a bunch of
the
candles downstairs.
Oh, that's probably what it was. It was like getting
There were
warmer.
like 50 candles downstairs.
way.
Yeah,
and
the warm
hotter.
air.
Yeah.
What in the world is going on?
This makes
man?
us sound like so lazy that we wouldn't just take care of it.
No, dude, it
Heck
was
no,
like
it's not
you're
your
not
fridge.
taking care.
Yeah.
It was that.
It's probably a
stinky,
raccoon
dude.
somebody was gonna mount or something. You know what I mean? They're gonna put it on the wall, not actually mount it. Mount it on the wall. Well, that's an
Clarify. On the
to
wall.
clarify, yes,
Um,
clarify.
But anyway, he took care of it.
Yeah. This story didn't go the way I thought it would. I thought you were just gonna be like, "It was crazy, man. We played a song, we fucked it up. It was sick, you know." And then some sort of
Somebody
smell.
grabbed the raccoon and brought it on stage. It's crazy.
But it did stop smelling by the time the first band played.
Yeah, it
That's
was good.
That's good. That's good. Well, let me ask you this off the touring thing. I guess going off that, what was the thing that surprised you most about being on the road as a band that didn't tour for a while? Other than the smells, of course.
That's a great question.
Surprised you the most?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
About being
Like just the
on the
road.
road?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
any part of it. Like touring, playing shows. What shocked you the most individually and together?
I mean, this was kind of known, I feel
Uh-huh.
like, but it's such a drastic change of pace. As like
Okay.
being home, you have a routine, obviously. You can
yeah.
get into your swing. On the road, it's like everything is everywhere all the
Discombobulated.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of having to like create your own routine and do take time to like do what you got to do. And if that means like waking up an hour before everyone else to like do that stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I do that.
Yeah.
But like in my head, it's like
Totally.
you can imagine the
If you did.
ideal, if you
Yeah.
did.
It's shockingly discombobulating. You know what I mean? To be out there all weekend long or something. You know what I mean? Until you get used to it, I suppose. But anybody else have any comments on that? It's the most shocking thing about the road. Got a hand up. Hit it. Love it.
Back to me over here. I thought it was. I don't know if it's shocking, but alarming. No, that you feel like your life and music is really more about like things like that and like the visceral of like, oh, did the sound check go all right, or like, oh, like do I know my part, or just like the visceral stuff that's your day-to-day life that's immediately in your face. And how sometimes that might blind you from like, oh, I'm doing this because like I really liked studying like that Gordon Lightfoot song, or like any, it's like, oh, like I was learning about the Beatles and the tape,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm doing this. Like that's where you fell in love with it again,
Yeah.
like the 18-year-old kind of like
Romanticize.
romanticize, and so like remembering all that, and that's why it's always nice to like go back and listen to like embarrassing records you listened to when you were that age.
Yeah.
I
agree.
But don't you
That's
think?
what I get what you mean. It's like it's easy to lose the plot sometimes. Just like I'm just fucking tired. Like we're running our own sounds like shit, or like just annoyed about people tripping over the
Yeah.
stage or something. It's like, man, we're fucking playing. You know what I mean? We got it made. We got it made. It's easy to lose sight of that sometimes. Though, you know what I mean? Is that what you're kind of saying? A little bit.
No, it totally is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose sight, and then you just got to tell yourself you remember it, and then you're like, man, I love it,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think something that we were talking about after our last hometown show was like, it's really, I mean, it is kind of crazy. Like you get in a groove, right? And you're like, okay, hey, like, and like you kind of lose sight of what's going on. You're like, whoa, this is actually cool. What we're doing right now is like, hey, and like relish that moment because it doesn't last forever and it could end, at any moment. It really could. And like, I think one of the more exciting things about being on the road, and I don't know if these guys are going to say this is a bunch of BS, but like you go and you play like maybe a couple of like really rocking shows, and then you go and you play to freaking 10 people that don't give a fuck, and like that is like I really enjoy the the kind of greater chat team aspect of this. It's like and I think about that all the time. It's like, dude, like this is our our team is all like I love our team. It's like, and I heard Caleb Follow Hill, the Kings Leon dude, talking about this, when they were recording Aha Handshake, and he was like talking about how he's like, dude, I'm a fan of our band. And I would say the same. It's like I'm you're a fan of your band. It's like it's like, and so it's a interesting, it's an interesting road to. I don't know. It's an interesting path to even just be on in the first place. It's a strange world, and it sure is exciting.
And the ups and downs of that. That's something that a lot of people, unless you've gotten used to it or can like bear through it, is like the 10 people and then the 200 people the next night.
You just got to do it.
You just got to do it, and that no one understands that unless you do it. And that's like a it feels like a blow to your ego or something.
It does sometimes. Sometimes it hurts.
It hurts.
Sometimes it cuts.
It never doesn't hurt. And if it didn't hurt, you wouldn't care. But knowing how to get through that, and that like it's just a series of moments of like greatness, and that it's your again romanticized idea that it's just always going to be great, and it's going to be great, and here's
wall to wall sold out every night.
Yeah, and the tour bus.
It's good though. It gives you that chip on your shoulder. It's like, if we can make it through playing to 10 people and give it to fucking all, like we're good when it's 2,000 or whatever. We're good. I think you can only get that on the road, and that's what all bands that make it have in common is like they just kept fucking doing it. You know what I mean? Kings of Leon, I'm sure they played to 10 people more than a couple times, or just an example.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
Yeah.
Well put. Well put.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about you guys' tunes for a little bit. We're going to come back to touring in a second. And I agree with what you said about team. Who said the team comment? I like that. That was you, right?
Yeah.
When you got like the homies, when you got like your boy on the sound, you got like Garrett on the camera and Brax on the video, and like the whole band's here and your hometown homies are there. It's like, we got the fucking team tonight. We're good.
When it starts becoming outside of the people playing the music, it just, you feel like you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah. It's really cool because I saw, you guys know, I'm sure you know the Future Birds. You heard of them, right?
Yeah.
Bigger band. I actually didn't heard of them.
They travel with
year.
like 30 people.
Yeah. That was what was cool. I saw them in Athens the other night for this event, and they had just done like Red Rocks the week before, and they were all just like chilling on the rooftop, just like hanging. And it was like all their old college buddies, and like all the band was out there, and like all the venue guys knew them. I was like, damn, this is like a whole like thing, like they're like a whole network or whatever that's just glad to be home kind of, it was like a whole team. It was very cool to see. I was like, oh, that's cool, Once you really get on the road, like gone for a while, it's like, damn, you come back, your homies are there. It's cool. Anyways, let me move along from that. I was going to go into something off that. We're going to talk about your tunes for a while. Do you guys have a favorite tune to play live? Like, what's you guys' go-to knockers for live each? I would love to know.
All right. New tune coming out very soon. We've been starting the set with it. It's called Orbiter.
Orbiter, sweet.
It's a cool rocker, man. I love that song.
Yeah.
Darby led that song. Super, super, just awesome song. Been loving that one live. And then another song is one of our latest releases, Steady and Vertigo.
I love that one.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
Thanks, man. We've been we created that one in the lab, because we used to we still sometimes do, but the recording process was live band.
Yeah, love that.
And so we recently have kind of built some tracks in the studio back home, and that was
kind of thing.
Yeah, and just starting with one thing and just going from there. And so that one was really cool because it created something cool. But it was one of those things where I was like, why is this not? I don't know. Like our
like
band's
translate, like hard to translate.
it was
from-
weird. I was like, we've never had a problem playing our own songs.
Yeah.
Stupid as hell. Like, but that was one of them. I was like, why is this sounding like shit? You know?
Yeah.
Is it just because you guys like built it up and had never played it live before, and then it didn't translate a little bit? It's got some interesting
You want me to
guitar
speak to
rhythms. I wrote that down.
You go.
Yeah.
I was gonna. It's more like, yeah. I think that's part of it. It's like the
Yeah.
lack of us like jamming it. It's like because we built it, kind of it became this more. It seemed like not like robotic, but like not inorganic, but something that we had to like catch almost.
Okay.
Versus it being something that came just as like a live. But what's interesting is it did come from a live thing. We just like the song came out of a live jam.
Yeah.
But then we built it in the studio, and it became
Gotcha.
something somewhat different than that. And so we had to like kind of like tame that and catch it, and now it's, I'd say, like one of the more fun songs to play live as
Awesome.
well.
Really fun.
So you figured it out kind of live?
Yeah,
What
I'd
was
say
it
so.
about it? Could you like put your finger on what? Was it just like
Harry
doing it a lot?
balls at the end.
Yeah, definitely
Just
some Harry balls.
ripping lead at the end. Us doing
Love
that
it.
is super fun. No, I don't know what it was. I think it was just
That was like-
relax. It was really relaxing. Just me and
Yeah?
like playing it looser.
And like the singing stuff.
Yeah.
all the
A
gang
cool guitar
singing
rhythm.
and-
I noted that. I wrote that down. I was like, I like the guitar. It's like off camber almost. Like
Cool.
jumps. Yeah, like jumps. Like
That's a good point.
backwards beat.
Cool.
You know what
man.
I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Very
It
cool.
is.
How about everybody else? What's your favorite ones to play live?
I was gonna speak to something about that song, but I guess
No,
y'all
go ahead.
covered
Go
it.
ahead. You
No,
might as
no,
well.
it's-
You might as well. You might as well. We're here. Hit it.
That's a great tune. Mine's always changing. I think I said last time we were asked this was wishes. Just because I'm just messing around.
Somebody else asked this. What the fuck?
No, I think wishes.
I like that one too.
Because I'm literally I started on bass and then had years of guitar and then came back to bass to join these
You
guys.
started on the bass.
Yeah,
He actually did, which is hilarious. Yeah, because we were
because
he was playing like
I was the littlest brother, so they made me start on the bass. So
That's
I-
right.
My
you play
youngest
bass.
brother started on bass too, which is
Yes,
kind
you
of funny.
do. Yeah, that's not a coincidence, my man.
Yeah, perfect. That's I never even
Might
thought
not
about
be.
that.
He who has the less hitting power has to play it
Yeah.
in infancy.
So I started on it, but then I was relearning it to get up to speed with these guys, and like I think when you're learning bass, you're always playing too much,
Okay, I can see that.
And so I've been known to not really play too much, but I like that song because I'm literally just playing one note and just being in the pocket
Ooh, okay.
and just locked in, and it's so simple, but you can noticeably feel the room groove with that.
Interesting. That's
And-
awesome.
It's like a Maharishi Indian kind of like single tone tonality kind of thing.
How about you? What was your favorite one to play? Or
Favorite one?
Did you already answer? You already answered, right?
I didn't.
You didn't. Okay,
I did
sweet.
not.
Well, you guys go individually.
I'm liking. What am I liking now? I like all the ones that these guys don't like.
Really?
Yeah, I like the song "Habitat," which we don't play really
I
live
don't
anymore.
think I ever listened to that one. I didn't write that one
It's
down.
just like it's it's off Peach Fuzz.
Okay, second
So-
album, right?
Yeah,
Sweet,
second album.
sweet.
But that's one that's just like gets me going, gets me
Sweet.
fired up.
Gets you going.
But one that we've been playing live that's really fun is "Gotta Get Back." It's like
Gotta
this
Get Back.
kind of
I
anthem,
like that one, yeah.
anthemic song.
It's
and-
kind of got like the folk thing going on. No, not really, but like
Ooh.
the soft, good vibes. to me.
Yeah,
If I'm
yeah.
thinking of the right one, I think I
Yeah.
wrote that.
I listen to that
Probably
song
right.
now, and I hear like the recording or like the way that the sonics of that sound, and I
Yeah.
get that vibe. I'm like,
Yeah.
why does this sound so like? It does sound kind of full,
like
full,
acoustic
yeah,
chill kind of
it's
thing.
very
Not in a bad way, in a good way. I like it.
yeah,
Good
it's
vibe.
chill.
Yeah, man, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I meant to note that you said wishes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that being the studio outtake? What does that mean? What does that mean? Give me the backstory on that.
Well,
Because it sounds pretty damn good for outtake. And it streams well, it seems like.
yeah, we recorded that at a with our friends who do Nuance Magazine in Nashville.
Okay.
Or it's not magazine, excuse me. What is it?
Yeah, Nuance Magazine.
Nuance Magazine, yeah, and they I don't know how deep I want to go into this, but we shot a live video where we shot 2 songs.
Oh, okay.
And they're up on YouTube, and they're really cool. I guess only
It's just a live take. It's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
live.
word. So it's like
But
live at 1093.
yeah, with less cameras.
Yeah. Well, damn, it sounds great then. I figured you
Yeah,
guys
it-
like actually recorded it.
Well,
and
we tried to record it, and it just didn't. Our producer in Charleston kind of cut it.
Okay.
Slash
Well,
we
it-
cut
I mean, it was like we had
We
that
c-
version, the live version, and we liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And then we brought it into the studio to like during the Peach Fuzz album time, and
Okay.
like it was a candidate for getting on the album.
Yeah.
And it just was like, something doesn't feel right about it. So
Interesting.
it became sort of like this black sheep
Well,
for a
it
little
sounds
bit,
good to
and then
me.
we went
Sounds
back
good
to
to me.
yeah, and then we went
Yeah.
back to it. It was like
Here's the thing about
rocks.
it. It was recorded up at Edwin, who does the Nuance Magazine.
Yeah.
We're best friends with him, and Hunter, who's the editor there. And so, but they're all from Swanee, where we went to college. And
Gotcha.
so Edwin's dad has a studio up there. His name's Peter Keeble. Shout out to Peter Keeble. He's the
Yo,
man. He will be
Peter.
watching this because he's like just on top of everything. And
Thank you, Peter.
thank you, Peter.
Appreciate that.
But no, his studio just sounds really great. And I think probably at that time, you know, you just go through periods of like learning of like, oh, is bleed good? Bleed's, you know, it's okay. I'm just starting out and I only have 1 mic, so yeah, we're gonna have to have bleed. And then
Yeah.
you're like, all right, man, I got the ISO chamber going in the studio. No bleed, bleed's bad.
Yeah.
And then you just come back around to it, and there was bleed, and he's just got like a magical, really dead, great smelling.
It does smell so good. The best
Awesome.
vibes. This dude's studio, man. It's like you like. I wish we could be jamming in it right
Yeah,
now.
right
Like
now.
I wish we could go for a big jam. And he was running the vocals through the room,
Really?
which was crazy. Just out in the room where the vocals. There were some speakers up in his bookshelves, and like just one of those things where I was like, I hear everything distinctly and
Yeah.
clearly, and here we are, and we're gonna do this song.
Very rare. That's
But
awesome.
it was a little.
Very.
It was one of those things. If we're just being out, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You know the studio the studio outtake thing. You know, it's a little bit of a what would you call it? One of those things where it's like you
It was just
You
a different
draw
studio.
attention. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like when you name something like that, it's like something like you draw attention to something. It's like, oh, whoa,
Gotcha.
studio outtake.
I think that stuff's cool though. You know, like I listen to like demos from like old records and stuff. I'm like, oh, sick. You know the demo version, right? It's better. You know.
yeah, exactly.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Something niche for the fans.
Your
you know?
guitar is
when you're-
beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Can you tell us just a little bit, not to flip it around?
No,
Can you
you're
tell us a
good,
little
you're
bit about that guitar?
It's a left-handed Gibson Explorer, and they stopped making them for like 40 years. And I always wanted one when I was a kid, so they started making them again in 2018. So I fucking ordered one.
Oh,
It's
awesome.
great. It's great.
God, yeah.
It's fantastic. It's a little inconvenient when you're in small spaces, which we frequently are. You know, it's got the big fin on it. I'm like bumping into people and shit.
Yeah.
But it's great, man. I'll let you guys hold it when we leave. It's in there.
Okay.
It's in there. Yeah, I want you guys to
Cool.
hold it. Amen. Cool.
Cool.
Let's keep moving though. I want to get a few more things in before we let Garrett hop on here, which is coming up. Garrett, you doing all right over there? Fantastic. Sweet. I want to make sure you weren't bored over there. Ugh. Tell me a little bit about when you guys. How many songs on Peach Fuzz? 10?
11.
11. Was it hard to come up with 11 songs that kind of fit the same vibe that checked all the boxes for it to be an album, or was it extremely easy?
Somewhere probably in between
Somewhere
there.
in the middle? Moderately difficult.
We cut songs, which was great. You know,
Uh-huh.
like I was 16 maybe ish.
Sheesh, that's a lot of tunes.
Yeah.
A lot of tunes.
So
actually, let me pause you before you
Yeah.
do that. We never got his answer on favorite live song to
Oh,
play.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
hoping you would keep going.
Come on, you gotta have one.
It's
I
a new
can't
one. A new one called Daddy Daughter.
Daddy Daughter, sweet.
Unreleased.
We're gonna be hearing it sooner and later.
Currently, well, I guess it's finished. We play it live.
Yeah?
So I mean,
Here,
yeah,
here
I love
tonight
it
if
before
you're
you
40
watch.
watt. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna play it tonight. Yeah.
interesting. All right, sweet. I had to get that in there before I forgot.
it's a Rickenbacker tune.
Is
when
it?
The when the guitar
Ooh.
switch happens for the
Ooh.
indie rock show, you know.
Love that. Love that.
I had the Rickenbacker like
Yeah.
3 inches higher.
Oh, word.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Just
the
to make
very,
sure
the elbow look.
Yeah,
Yes.
just make sure it's really up there.
That's the only way to play it, I think.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
It's so you can see your rolled up pants.
Exactly, yeah.
I do have them.
And his belt. Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, for the buckle rash.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Which is a real thing.
Yeah.
What
So-
were you saying about the album? No, I'm sorry I had to cut you off. To
No.
back up to make sure he got his in.
No.
To be back here now.
I also like playing that song.
16 songs.
Yeah,
Beach Boys.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a cool experience. Yeah, I think it's good to overwrite.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's hard though. 16 tunes, that's a fucking load of tunes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So good for y'all for having 11 that you felt like keeping and putting out there.
Yeah.
It sounds really cohesive to me.
Yeah, it sound like it is a crazy sounding thing. Like Wolfgang who produced it in Charleston, he mixed it too.
Okay.
And that was an interesting deal. Like, he was kind of there from the start and mixed it, and yeah, dude. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
I hear great things about that guy. What's the name of his studio?
The Space.
Space, yeah.
Formerly,
Supper Club mentioned it. Stu's mentioned it. Everybody's been talking about it. It's been cool, right?
yeah,
Cool spot?
he's a great
awesome.
guy. He's a great guy, man.
Yeah,
Really, really brings the best out of people, which is one of those rare qualities. It's like,
Yeah.
and just like his energy. I mean, it's like your energy, man. It's like I can
Appreciate
feel
it.
good energy, man. It's
Yeah.
like so that
Thank you very
permeates
much.
and it's cool. Did
Yeah, you can feel
who
that kind of
sighed?
stuff.
I heard that. Was that
It
you,
wasn't a
Webster?
sigh, I said, mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of shit's necessary though for a producer. If the
Yeah.
vibe's wrong in the producer, it just doesn't work for me.
So we recorded.
Understand?
He becomes a detractor. He takes away.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we had that whole album. We did that whole album, and I don't know how many days we spent. It wasn't like an exuberant amount of days. It wasn't
Okay.
something crazy, but it wasn't like 2 days.
Yeah.
We did all the tracks in one day, pretty much. We did take it live, got all the bass tracks, and we just we just laughing, having a good time.
Yeah.
Let the good times roll. Yeah,
nice.
that kind of thing. He knew it was good.
We hit that.
And then when we came in after Peach Fuzz, we tried to record a song, and we got stuck on this song. We had our only it was the first bad day in the studio where it was
Yeah.
kind of like, what the hell are we doing? And then we went and recorded the song another time, and the song's called Lost Dog. It's finished. I don't know if
It's a
gonna-
lost track.
It's a lost track.
Put it out. Put it
Instead of
out.
studio
Yeah,
outtake.
you won't.
Lost
You
track.
won't. Put it out. Studio outtake.
Yeah.
Number 2. You guys should, man. That's funny.
Yeah, I think maybe it will.
Yeah.
But it's
It'll be on the 25th reissue vinyl
yeah.
bonus track. Yes.
Yes. When it's a wall.
Previously unheard songs.
Well, anyway, I don't know where I was going with all that, but yeah, good vibes are important, and
I agree.
Wolfgang's the man. Yeah.
I agree. Sweet. Well, let's see. What are you guys doing tune wise these days? You're playing most of them live, I imagine, or at least the big hitters per se for 45-minute sets. So you guys working on new tunes right now? It sounds like you guys got a lot recorded already.
Yeah, we're sitting on some tunes, and something we've been doing, and this was also kind of something we had talked about with Wolf was instead of taking all these songs and just ripping them in 7 days, right, or something like that, but getting in the studio a couple days a month, maybe.
Okay.
And spread that over a year. And something fun to do is go and road. I don't know. I love road testing songs, and I think
do
we
too.
do too. Yeah, it's
I do
fun.
too. I love that.
Because sometimes
it'll point things out that you didn't know.
Yeah.
It's damn, maybe that's a lull right there. Maybe we don't need that 2-minute bridge right there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
That was that song he really likes to play, 2-minute bridge.
No way.
Well, we zapped it from the album, but then
Gotcha.
the live version has this epic 2-minute bridge.
I guess
It
that
really
was
is.
the reverse.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree though. It points things out, right?
yeah, it's cool. And then so one thing we've been doing is I think we've been going back in is kind of being oh yeah, hey, I learned this on this tune. Let's do a little. I really like it when we sing this back up here, and so that's been I've enjoyed that about this process. And we're not rushing to some album right now. It's
Yeah.
I mean we're recording tunes and just working hard on the songs and getting back to what feels good. We were playing last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is so cool to just be, stop worrying about the bridge. Just like stop worrying about the bridge.
Yeah.
Fuck the bridge.
I do
We're
that. I
too-
talk
yeah.
to myself. I'm like, just chill out. They like it. You know what I mean? Like, just chill out.
And something Darby's been pointing out, which I'm so on board with, it is this. I guess it kind of started when you heard "Runner" by Alex G. That song. It's like it's just one of those songs that's just like it's got the bass thing going on. It's like, well, and it's kind of something we've asked is like, what's the core of this song? Like, is it a sick riff? Is it like what is like what's going on here?
Okay.
Like, does this part suck? And kind of just being like, well, what feels good about this? And so that's something I think we're trying to do as writers is like, making the stuff that makes us feel, you know what I mean? Like what is making us feel right now, and like what combination of notes and like core part is the what's the term you've been using, Tarvis?
Shit, man, I don't know.
The juice of the song. Are
juice.
y'all
Nectar, the
Been
nectar.
talking about
The
clay.
nectar.
the clay? That's right, the clay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the clay of the song. Yeah, nectar.
But
Hey,
yeah,
that's good too, though.
The nectar collector.
Yeah.
Remember those?
yeah.
Well, I think that's good to like double down on what's good about the song. 'Cause sometimes you can lose the plot on it, trying to
Right.
make it something else. I guess you know what I mean.
Right.
It's tough,
Yeah.
man. It's tough. So good for y'all. It sounds like y'all got it figured out, kind of,
The-
or
the-
working on
The
it.
key is
Formula.
not think, because
That's true. Oddly,
don't think. There's no way. It's just what feels good and what works
Yeah.
for you.
Do you remember when you
At
first
different
started
times.
making songs? Like it was like the bar was so low that you could write almost anything that it felt good, And then it's like you put some out, it's like fuck, it's kind of got to be better than what I've been doing or different, Then like the self-imposed bar limits you from writing good stuff because you like lay a verse down, you're like, that's kind of trash, You toss the whole song. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
Does that make
definitely,
sense, kind of?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That process. You guys have any trouble with that kind of stuff, or are you pretty able to recognize when something's good?
I feel like every artist has a problem with that
Yeah.
to some extent.
Yeah, I think so.
Like being able to channel just the good stuff,
Yeah.
in a pure form.
Turn the sink
versus
on, get the shit water out.
over adjusting it, and
Yeah.
it turns out a piece of shit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I
Yeah.
think everybody does do. How do you? Well, you guys. Are you gonna say something?
I was just gonna double down
No,
on
double
what,
down.
what Webster was saying about the
Huh.
thinking thing, because that's the truth, man.
Yeah.
We've been talking about the truth a lot.
I like the
That's
truth. The
yeah.
truth is good. Truth is good.
Because it's allows you to like channel the best thing, whether it's like this muse that you is just speaking through you, or if it's like some riff that you love and you could just like dive in without any kind of premeditation or anything and let it like,
Simmer.
just become what it is. But when you start thinking about like, oh, yo, I like this album was sick, or these songs were cool, or like these things are in the hopper, then you start maybe overanalyzing or getting into your head about it. And it loses.
Comparison is the thief of happiness. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
dude, totally.
Yeah, I've been through
Totally.
that a lot. Yeah, that's interesting. Very well put. Very well put. Well, let's slide Garrett Cardoso in here. What do you guys say?
Ew.
He's been in the queue. Let's bring him in right
There
here.
he is.
There's a mic right there on that white stand. You can hold it if you'd like, Garrett, because that stand kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
There he is.
All right.
Go, G.
How you doing, brother?
Do one of these. How do I sound, everybody?
Sounds great.
Really
good.
Sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
very
Good,
good.
fantastic.
Very good.
Thanks
How
for
you
having me
doing,
back
man?
again, Jameson.
Glad to have you, man.
Yeah.
You're always welcome. They were asking earlier. I was like, yeah, he's fine. He's good.
Yeah.
That guy's cool. He can
I'm in
come
the club, right?
Yes, you're in.
yeah.
You've probably been on more episodes than anybody. You're getting up there.
I
Getting
mean,
up there.
probably.
Probably like 3 or 4 episodes for real, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I
Well, you
suppose
asked good
so.
questions. You sent some good questions in on the Instagram today. I want you to just fire off with some stuff for them, man.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess really, I wanted to just call back. Some callback is a term amongst the team here. That's used regularly.
Love that.
I mean, I've gotten to spend some good time with these guys this year. So specifically on the road, which has been just
Fun.
very memorable to me. I mean, like honestly, I think some of my favorite experiences this year have been specifically with you guys. So, but I mean, like we were talking earlier about the smelly venue in New Orleans. Made me think about how we had multiple bad smells along the trip that I had with them. We were in Amarillo, Texas, like just passing through, and we stopped at Walmart to go to the grocery store and just get some stuff. We were staying at an Airbnb in town.
Okay.
And honestly, it smelled like the place was on fire. And like
Oh
it
my
was just
God, I
odd
forgot
because
about
nobody
that.
seemed to like really
Acknowledge.
Like an electrical fire.
Like, yeah, no, it was like an electrical fire, and you could see like patrons walking around with like their shirts up like this and stuff.
No one cared.
And there was like
No one cared.
Nobody cared. There was like
What?
there was visible smoke in the air, like
my
at the back of the
gosh.
store, and
You
like
guys are at a crime scene.
it was strange. And then another spot we did a little project at in Colorado. I don't really know if I can
oh
really
my
talk about
God,
that,
this
but
is like multiple. You can talk about it.
no, we
Project.
we filmed a music video
Oh,
while we were
okay,
in
gotcha.
Colorado, and
Sick.
one of the locations that we were filming at, which was a beautiful spot that we found just out of nowhere in Pueblo, and just apparently it was a dumping ground for dead animals.
Oh no!
Because we started to like when we first got there to start shooting.
What's up with you guys and dead animals?
I mean, I'm telling you, man, it was strange, but
Yeah.
it's just like an odd like
Yeah.
occurrence that was frequent.
And then
Well, hold on. The flies?
yeah, and then the flies.
yeah.
So yeah, so like there were at this spot at Pueblo, there were 300 flies, maybe
Well, you-
more in our. Go
Well,
ahead.
so you roll up to the spot and it's like you notice the stench, and we hang out there. We're like scoping it out, doing some stuff, and then we left the van doors open during that time.
Oh no!
And when we go back into the van,
Yeah.
flies everywhere,
Like the
like
big ones?
disturbingly like.
I've got the
Just
video
flies.
of it. It really will blow your mind. Like
I wanna see
how
it.
many flies. Like it's dark outside when we get back in the van, and like I don't know how we really we notice it because they're just like flying around, I guess, and like you put a light on it, and it's
Yeah.
like the entire
Stuff
Hundreds?
of
roof of the
nightmares,
van
man.
on the inside of the van is just covered in flies.
You guys are at that dumping ground for real, man.
surely
Get
it
out
took us
there.
a
Where
little
is that video?
I don't know.
Looking
I
for
know
it?
it's on my phone. I've got it somewhere.
Well,
but
something also smelly that happened was when we were in Amarillo. We were at the Airbnb, this place called the Jungle, for $70 a night.
Jungle.
No, it's like
epic.
$50.
50 bucks. Honestly, great Airbnb.
great spot to stay,
Yeah?
to be honest.
Yeah, if
learning
you're
how to
ever passing through
Jungle.
Amarillo, the Jungle.
Sweet.
But
I don't own it.
yeah, I was
I don't have shares in it.
I was chatting with my girlfriend, and we were her brother. Anyway, someone on the other line of this FaceTime who was in the room was like, Amarillo, that's the place that stinks, right? And it, like, we hadn't smelled anything, and then like we stepped outside for later that night, and we were like, just like in the air, we were like, that's terrible. Like
It
all of a
does
sudden, it just
stink.
started. The whole place stinks.
Interesting.
I suppose it has something to do with it being such a agriculture based
Yeah.
city.
That
I don't
makes
know,
sense.
probably some type of like manure processing
Yeah.
plant that's like in the middle of the city or something.
So
But
weird.
It really does smell really bad, and now that's like how I know Amarillo is a smelly city.
Interesting. I'm
But
gonna
tell
knock
you what,
that off
though,
my tour cities list, to-do list.
that part of
not.
the trip was so amazing though,
Yeah.
because as soon as you leave Amarillo and you start driving more west, it just gets just unbelievably beautiful.
Really?
And like some of those like views and
Uh-huh.
the sunset that we stopped on the side of the road for before we rolled into town, like that's
Yeah.
just those are some of those moments like when you're on tour that like that's what you really remember.
Surreal.
You don't remember the shitty like shows where
Mm-hmm.
people
Yeah.
don't really show up, or I mean, of course the rockin' shows are great, but like
Yeah.
it's those little things, and like it really does like leave a lasting
I agree,
impact on
yeah.
you, I feel like.
That's what
But-
keeps you going, I suppose.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, even earlier this year, like the time that we all spent up in Appleton, I know you guys were just there recently again.
Yeah.
But like,
Wisconsin?
yeah,
Is that where the
Wisconsin.
couch is? Where's this beautiful couch you're always taking pictures of people on? You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
that's
Texas.
yeah, that's
That's
in
Texas?
Texas, man. That's a
Okay.
venue in Austin called Mohawk.
Interesting.
And
I almost
so-
texted you the other day. I was like, where's this fucking
Yeah,
couch
man.
that everybody's on?
I've got a fixation on it too because
It's
I've
nice-
seen it.
it's
I've,
beautiful. See?
I've been to that place twice now because the Stews played there earlier this year.
Word.
And yeah, I knew when I saw that was on the calendar, I was like, I'm gonna get another
Couch
picture
picture,
of
yeah.
another band on this couch.
It's
'Cause I just-
great.
Infamous.
It just looks really
Infamous.
cool. But
It does. It does.
Austin's a cool town in general. We had a good time.
Texas is kind of like a scary place to tour. Like it's like a big fucking place. Like I don't know where to start. You know, it's not like South Carolina where it's like, all right, there's 2 cities that we're gonna hit here. It's like it's
Yeah.
Texas. Like we better go do a lot. Kind of. What did you guys think about it? It sounds like it was fun from what Garrett's saying.
Oh yeah, we just hit two. I mean, we just hit Austin and Dallas. We could have probably hit. Houston's on the list. No, I don't know. It was
But
cool
it
though.
is like as a not Texan native, it's like a massive place.
It is kind of overwhelming. Just even driving through Texas, you just feel like the drives never end, really. But
that's what I would have said is overwhelming when I look at
well, and like we rolled through Houston like by way of Dallas or wherever we went first, I guess, and like you roll up on the Houston like skyline. And once you start getting like they have like 3 perimeters of highway systems around the city, and it's just like massive, like. I just remember a snapshot of us. I was sitting in the front seat of the van. You roll into Houston, and it's like this fucking huge. It looks like a cartoon, like massive city almost. I don't know. It was just kind of crazy, but Texas is an overwhelming state.
Calling it back to the team real quick. Something cool about Garrett and our relationship is we met in Athens.
Word.
That was the first time we met. Luke, our booking agent, put us in contact. And it was all so anyway, we were blown up.
Selby all night was like, yeah, Luke has this really good photographer come tonight to be on your best behavior.
Yeah. He wore that was such a trip of a show too. We were on the side of this fraternity house, and it was a funny
it's whatever is it Fiji, I think, that has that outdoor like patio. It's like a weird stage, is like offset from the
kind of like you're on the roof a little bit in a way.
A little bit.
Right. Sigma Nu.
Sigma Nu, is that what it was?
It was Sigma Nu,
okay, so it's somebody like that, but
interesting.
It's a weird place.
Good show.
But it was it was really fun. We opened, the 502s played after, and then this dude named Elefante closed.
Elefante, I don't know.
DJ,
and it was
DJ. Apparently.
He's cool.
Okay. It was ridiculous, dude. People were throwing down.
Really?
But it was all what? Yeah. So anyway,
move on.
Isn't that where Charlie played the toy kit?
Yeah,
that's right.
We don't have to go there.
So anyway, something cool though is like, I don't know if the timelines are exactly right, but you've kind of really you've dove into your passion and your career path on a similar kind of like leap of faith as I feel like we have, and that's been, and what's so cool about the team is like as the team grows, it's just everyone starts leveling up, it's like. It's awesome, like we all kind of met through Garrett and the Stews, and and now we know each other, and it's just it's cool. It's cool how
we're
like
on the team now.
Yeah, we're on the team.
If you'll have us on your team, we'll
Soldier. So I'm enlisted. Sign me up.
That's true. I mean, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up was just the extended universe of Easy Honey in general. Like all the characters involved in y'all's lives, like your brothers and like Brendan and Connie and like everybody that like I met up in Massachusetts and Connecticut and all that, like. And Bert meeting your brother in New Orleans, like all these people that care so much about you guys, but also are like talented in their own ways and stuff like that. It's just like really cool. And then, Luke is the cog that brought us all together and brought me together with Vagabonds and Stews and all these people. And I don't know, it's just wild how that like world just keeps getting bigger. It feels like,
it does,
you know what I mean? And
it doesn't
I think
really
that's just a product of everybody. Like you said, everybody's just kind of like slowly leveling up, and the world just keeps getting bigger, and the team gets bigger, and
it's awesome, man. Very well put. You know what I mean? It does seem like you thought it would kind of tap out. It just like you just keep meeting bands and stuff, and it's like now we're homies and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean,
or you do tap out, and that's fine. Like it's like we joke about hanging up the cleats. It's like, I mean, it happens, and it is what it is. It's like you got to do it for the right reasons, and
Selby, are you hanging up the cleats?
Are we hanging up the cleats?
This is actually
just
on
air. He's brought it up twice.
Nobody's hanging up the cleats.
I'm just gonna bring it. I'm gonna just post a clip and be like, "Easy Honey's hanging up the cleat."
That's like the studio outtake, dude. That's like
Let me write this time down. Hold
on. I like that.
There we go. It's like I could have heard of you guys through literally just like following I call them the Atlas rounds, like I just followed the Stews or whatever, and then I was like, who the fuck is Supper Club, and who the fuck is Happy Landing, and who's the 502s, and who is Easy Honey, you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird how that works, just following Garrett and other people like that. It's like amazing how the webs.
If you think about it, you're like all these little avatars that are going around the country all the time. And just meeting each other.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
It's cool.
It's really great.
And it's cool when you pan out and get to play together eventually. I think that's cool,
That was cool. How about that for being one of the things that was alarmingly awesome instead of
touring?
Of touring. It's like I had no idea that like I would meet all these different people and bands and like have cool backstage shots with other cool bands, and you look at like Lollapalooza 92 and you're like, yeah, that's kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you get excited. You're like, damn, we're playing with the homies next month. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like it's on the schedule. We're gonna be there.
Yeah,
It's
man.
cool, man. I'm a big fan of that. I saw you guys are playing. Where are you playing it tomorrow? Is it Boone?
Playing Boone tomorrow.
Boone? That's
Yeah.
cool. I've never played Boone. I want to. What venue are you doing?
The Boone Saloon.
Oh, I hear it's great. I hear it's awesome. Yeah.
Really great.
Who you guys playing with?
Caffeine Daydream.
I've heard of them too. I
Yeah,
don't know them though.
they're
Cool?
they're a three-piece group out of Boone. It's
sick.
it's so pretty up there, man.
I hear it's wonderful. I heard
Yeah.
they have a
I
good
was-
music scene.
I was just there
I
last
was-
weekend with
yeah.
Supper Club at that same place, and
How was
it was
it?
a good time. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. The venue's got good food, so that's nice.
How they doing the crowd? You all right?
Yeah, that was solid. I mean, they
Fuck
played on
yeah.
it was like a Wednesday night
Oh,
or a
that's
Thursday
tough.
night or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that. But I mean, it was good. I mean, we had a good time, and the people we stayed with were really cool. They had like a horse farm with cows.
How
and
do we get this
horses.
horse
So,
hookup?
I don't know. I gotta talk to the Supper Club guys to see if it was like a friend of theirs even.
Oh,
So like, that might be a little difficult.
Maybe a stretch.
Just stay
Hey,
in the barn.
The best part of that, this can sound bad. The best part of that night was literally meeting this baby horse that was like a month old. They brought us into this
A mare?
barn.
Baby horse.
There's like horses everywhere, and we're just sitting there like petting and feeding these horses after the gig.
Sick,
It was so
man.
fun. That's
Wicked.
again the tour moments. You know what
Tour
I mean?
moments,
And
tour
like
moments.
just the
I
silly
hope you
shit
got
that
some
get to
baby
do,
horse
man.
pictures. I want to see those. I'm just-
You know what? I don't even think I brought. I didn't bring my camera in there because it's on a. We were walking on. It was
Yeah.
weird, man. We
It
walked
was,
on somebody else's property.
holy
and
ground,
Like,
holy
I
ground.
swear, it's all good. We can be in here. And like,
Just pictures of Supper Club riding a miniature horse.
yeah,
man.
I mean, I
Awesome.
did get a picture. I don't know if you saw this picture of Braxton
I don't think so.
with a horse, and you know.
Oh, I did see that in
you
the
know,
band
Horse
thing.
Girl, the song that
Yeah,
Elijah
Elijah, yeah.
acted. Yeah, we
I
put
thought that was
together.
funny,
That
yeah.
was a nice little thing.
I dropped that a like on IG. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
On
Did
the
they-
story.
they have a
Appreciate
so-
it.
there's a
Thank
song called Horse Girl.
They
Yeah,
have a
it's
song
good.
called Horse Girl, and it's
cool.
actually like it's
fantastic.
awesome. It's a
I
funny
believe
like
it.
concept, but that's a testament to Elijah, man, and like
The great
that
athlete
guy. He
songwriter.
is truly an incredible
He
artist.
is, man. He is.
Y'all get to meet him later. He plays with Well Kept. So,
Yeah.
You guys are in for a
Great
good
dude.
one tonight. Well kept, really talented band.
Really excited about that. I do think we should probably break the horse girl stereotype though.
Should we?
About that.
I think so too.
You have a
What's the
good
stereotype?
experience or something?
They're great people.
Huh? Good vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that. I'll
Yeah.
take that any day.
Well, I can't wait to hear the song.
You're gonna like it, man. It's a good song. Good
That's
song.
awesome.
I saw you guys are playing with By George in a few days, right?
Yeah.
I don't know them well, but I like kind of crossed paths with them in Raleigh once, and I hear they're dope. I hear they're
Cool.
groovy.
They're
That's what I
being
heard.
awesome. Like they've been an awesome part of the team doing these two shows. We're
Yeah.
doing a night in Raleigh and a night in Charlotte with them.
Oh,
And,
sick.
One of those people that you already like them before you meet them.
Yeah,
yeah,
word,
just their
word.
like group's entity. They're trying on the promotion. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like they communicate.
They're smart.
Yes.
They seem very smart.
yes.
They killed on TikTok. That's where I saw them first. They were on TikTok. and I
Oh, no
discovered
way.
them. They really murdered on there. You should look them up. If you're looking for a good example of band like being pretty natural on there and succeeding, like just a lot of live videos doing well. So
That's awesome to hear.
yeah, good for them. Good
Yeah.
for them. I was gonna say one other thing. We haven't talked about the live show much. Maybe you guys should tell me, or Garrett, you should tell me what you think about this. Like, what is the Easy Honey live show like as somebody who's never seen one? High energy, vibey, somewhere in the middle. What would you describe it as?
It's certainly high energy. I'll tell you that. Like
Word.
I thoroughly enjoy shooting their sets because it's so like it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Seems like they photograph well from what I've seen.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I mean, and it's just one of those things. You guys have a good stage presence. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think that goes a long way, especially leaving a lasting impression on people that you're playing shows for in random places you never played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like y'all bring it every time, and I think that's like a huge deal, and something that like generally brings fans coming back to shows next time you're there.
Yeah,
So,
For sure.
Keeps coming back, you could say.
Yes.
You could say that.
That's right.
I could speak to that too.
Okay.
Speak upon it.
Oh, we should tell the parcel story in a second, but go ahead.
Derailing me.
Damn,
derailing.
derailed, dude.
You can't bring up parcels and not just go.
No,
on
let's talk
it.
about the live show.
Okay. Quickly. We all saw the Lemonheads a few years back, and
Right before COVID.
right before
Okay.
COVID,
Okay.
90s band, really like. It was before I was even in the band, but we all went and saw them together, and this is Oasis, right?
Absolutely is.
Oh,
Their whole thing is just standing there,
Yeah,
and
which-
letting the song speak,
Which
And
oddly works for them. I don't know
which
how.
oddly works
Yeah.
for them. But it's something that like Evan Dando and the Lemonheads do too. And like a lot of those 90 bands, it's just like it wasn't cool to jump around.
Yeah.
Or like they jumped around for a while and then matured or whatever.
Yeah.
And not matured and like they got bad knees now or something. But just like
It's like an attitude thing.
yeah, like I don't need to jump, like let the song speak. And like there's something about standing there and just kind of like watching and like letting the lights move and listen to the song, letting them deliver it by just standing there if they were like an orator or something. And so not using the like jumping around or the parlor tricks as a crutch.
Interesting.
But having both those things kind of going on at the same time, moments of each. And, I mean, every young band is going to have a lot of energy to get out. But harnessing both those things, I think we try to do.
Well put.
Or strive to do.
Like the where we were at this farm this last couple days, there was a Mignonette was like I think the third Avett Brothers CD maybe. It's just we have this like little boombox and it was in there, and like I remember I was a huge Avett fan. I have a banjo. Really big fan. And but their energy when they were doing that 4-piece thing without a drummer, where they were playing the kick and Seth was playing the hi-hat, you know, and it's like. They were like they were sending them. They were breaking strings. They broke like 100 strings a show and stuff. And it's like screaming and doing all this crazy stuff. But like honestly, like people connect with energy. It's kind of about it's like what's your method of connecting with the audience? Is it like this really sentimental song? Is it just gosh darn rip? I mean, I think your show's pretty high energy.
High energy. If anything, I use it as a crutch, like he says. You know what I mean? Like too much. You know what I mean?
No way. I've heard about your show. I hear it's a legendary site.
I appreciate that. Somewhere in the middle.
So yeah.
But what'd you think about what I said?
No, I get what you mean. I agree.
like that a lot.
Like I liked how you worded that. It was like we're somewhere in the middle between like high energy and not like that being all to us. Like you could stand still and the song still work. Is that what you're saying?
More so that...
Dude, literally coming from the guy who would like knock me over like mid show, like run up behind me and like kick my leg out or something. He like what was the guy saying about Webb? You have to. Are you coming to the show tonight?
I wish, man. I'm going to Jacksonville. I appreciate it. I'm going to Georgia Florida game. So
nice.
It's like an every year thing for me. Nice. I wish.
Well, when you do catch a show,
I will catch a show.
We have heard about that.
What were y'all gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna talk about how someone was saying in the audience in the Quad Cities, how someone was like, it just looks like Webster had something really serious to tell everyone the entire show.
No. A better story is the one in Florida, Tampa, at the casino. So I've been known. I just started singing with this band. Bass player, getting the bass chops up. Now I'm kind of easing my singing back into it.
Okay.
Not very successful yet. And so when you don't have a mic, I'm like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? So like I'm over there, grooving out. And so we're on this stage at this casino, Hard Rock Casino, Seminole Hard Rock Casino. Nice. I'm not working for them. and like I've been known to walk behind Selby to go jam out with Darby or just to like change, the vibe. Yeah, go jam with Charlie. Like, and it's a pretty big stage. It's probably like, it felt like an Applebee's in there, but it was one of the bigger stages that we've ever played on. It's like
straight up the biggest sound, like the nicest sound system.
They used to probably have like,
who
the CCR, like they used to have like just massive like rock concerts in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and so I'm walking behind him, and then Selby has also been known to, when he like finishes up like a verse or something, and like, he delivers that like standing still, like sentimental thing, and then he'll go into the energy and like back up and anyway, so one time he just totally nailed me so hard. And I like, you want to tell him this?
It was like slow motion. It was like the slowest fall you've ever seen. I was like,
I was on one leg, and I was like, because when you multitask, especially when you're like singing or playing, like you know how it is. Your mind is on that, and so like I had my mind still on hitting the note on the downbeat, and
took a tumble.
No, I saved myself. I hit the note and then I caught myself, but I sacrificed the note. No, I sacrificed the almost fall for the note and the good of the band.
We had a
subtle flex.
We have a joke. We have a joke about. Here, well, let me deflex. Let me deflex it real quick.
All right, deflex it down.
We had a joke about Webb that was like, we called him like, it was like wrong note. Like he'd be looking at you being like, we're ripping it, aren't we? And he'd be just hitting wrong notes. And what it was so we have our friend Adam. He plays keys with us sometimes. He's an older. He's just a little older than us. He's from Charleston. Yeah. He's the man, but he's like he played for the. He still plays with us, but like he was kind of like does Adam have anything to do with this story? I don't think so. Anyway, it's hard to hear bass on stage sometimes. It really is hard to hear the notes. And I backed up my one of our friends, Fo Daniels in Charleston, and I was playing bass, and I have never played bass live. And I get what it is a struggle to sometimes hear.
Have you ever played bass live?
I have not. I can't find a lefty one around.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like it is. It's such a different register that you have to kind of like retrain your ear to like listen for.
It doesn't cut as much, kind of.
It doesn't cut. Yeah. And so you're really like basing a lot off just like the vibration, of the stage, and a
hot monitor.
Yeah,
you're gonna want a hot wedge.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you get a little you get some high end in that wedge to where it's like real stringy,
well, speaking of the live show, we recorded our show at in Appleton multi-track and listened to it a couple days ago, and we were like, because I think we're pretty hard on ourselves sometimes. Yeah. It was awesome.
Really?
We thought it was rocking. So
that's great.
Yeah, I'm here for the live show. It was rocking.
Because the live stems can hurt sometimes too. You'd be like, oh, we fucking suck. You know what I mean? But that's good that they rocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're revealing is what I mean.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And we've done it on, what is this like the third multi-track we've got on this tour? We've been out for a month. This is like the 28th day of the tour. I think.
Haven't been back at all?
No.
That's awesome, man.
No, we've just been, we've been.
I've never done that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. It hurts. It does hurt.
What hurts?
I got lost too. What hurts?
It all hurts.
Stems, the live stems.
The live stems hurt. It hurts for sure. But
let me ask you something before I forget. Where did the band name come from? Is there any specific?
Well, okay. So I'm just gonna say my recollection of what it was. We were driving up from Chattanooga. Chattanooga's like 45 minutes away from Suwanee. We were driving up the kind of plateau mountain area. And just kicking around names, and Easy Honey came about.
Yeah.
And
Didn't you see? Wasn't it like a billboard or something about a honey?
It was. I guess it was a billboard. But I don't. It's funny. I don't. I mean, you could tell me. Do bands have? I'll have a follow-up question after this for you. Okay. But the name. My initial kind of thought of the name was like Easy, Honey, like Easy Honey, like Easy Honey.
Yeah, I could do that.
But what it is though is like it's like there's nothing easy about honey. It's like you got to go through a lot of shit to get to the honey. You might get stung. You got to climb up. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of a so.
When I saw the album cover for the first record, I was like, all right, Easy Honey, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, Easy Honey. You know
with the girl on.
Yeah. That's what I thought at least. So somewhat right.
Do bands yeah, somewhat. I mean, but do bands usually have like when you ask this question, do bands like, we were like sitting around and like this like I don't know, like do bands have like big reasons?
They usually have a solid to decent reason, and 90% of the time it's we made a list and this is the one that stuck out. You know what I mean? So not really a reason.
I wonder if people sometimes will come up with a name just to like check a box so they have a name, and then after a while they think about it and they're like, oh yeah, it actually does kind of mean something.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of hard to do, man, because you got to really put some faith in. I kind of cringe though when I have bands on, and I love them. I've got some friends with some names that are like, yeah, there's like 4 other insert band names on Spotify. We're just not worried about it. I'm like, bro, what if y'all end up killing? Like, you might want to think of something now. Like, you're gonna have to rebrand all that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you guys have a very original name. I take that.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple honeys floating around, but I think
that's inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Dirty Honey I know, and they're like
they're good. I actually like them. I don't know if you guys ever listen to them.
Yeah. They're kind of Black Crowes-esque.
Yeah, kind of like blues rock thing going on. Like nothing new, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that's fine with me. As far as Dirty Honey's out there doing their deal.
You're cool with Dirty Honey? You're cool with them doing what they're doing?
Yeah,
Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
We're cool. We're going to let it slide.
With me. Let it slide. Let them know. Let them know.
Let it slide.
They're cool in my book.
Well, that's awesome, man. Let's kind of get the closing notes because we are Hour and a half in. That's a good episode right there. That's a long one. Love that. I want to briefly mention before we close, shout out to today's show sponsor, which is Clark's Collective. It's a bar downtown. You'll see it tonight. Probably walk by it.
Awesome.
Wonderful bar. They're having Cannon and the Boxes in November. They're having some cool bands. They had Hefner. They're doing a really good job rebranding into a music bar, doing fantastic. And they sponsored the show, so that's wonderful. Also, subtle plug, we have podcast merch now. It only took 100. It took 102 episodes, but we pulled it off. So if you guys want merch, hit me up. Be good for the show. Can get these guys some mic stands and everything.
Headphones.
What was that? Where was I going with that? Yeah, headphones would be huge. I wanted to ask everybody, what's kind of the main goal for the next year or so? Where do you guys hope to be this time next year? What's been on your mind? What have you been trying to do better? What do you want to do right now, individually and as a group? Would be nice.
Can I not go first? Or do you want
Absolutely.
me to go first?
Always changing, which is inevitable, and embracing change and embracing where you are in the moment, and allowing your art to reflect that. And if you're at a moment that it needs to reflect the past or the future, that's fine too. And really just, playing every note like it's your last note.
Oh,
and
nice.
That's the classic tale. But and then just, it's like, we listen back to the shows and just examining, not getting educational about it per se, but just examining how to get better. And all the guys that you listen to who are doing this in their 60s are the guys who are I'm just always a beginner. And
I agree.
Can't
lose with that mindset, man. Love that. Next.
Nice, Web.
Good luck.
And I'd say we got such a good team, and it's road worn. The team, we've gone on 3 tours now. So for me, it's I want to make sure that we're lifting each other up. I'm part of this loving team that's giving and listening and open and receptive to all the things. And with that, I'm confident that Easy Honey's gonna fucking soar, man.
Let's go, man.
As long as the team is strong and loving, and we got the foundation underneath us, then I think the sky's the limit, man. So
great answer. Nicely done. The team is bigger than most people think. Once you figure out that it's more than just the people in the band, that's a big realization. But you right here.
Red Rocks.
Let's go. Good answer.
Yes.
Nice.
That's how we can go.
Love that. Love that.
I also was thinking in terms of I'm sort of the de facto manager with Luke a little bit, you know what I mean? So
the mouthpiece per se.
I'm the guy who's I told the guys we probably won't make it back to Charleston if we don't sell enough tickets tonight,
Yeah.
We might have to just post up and give a couple of car washes or something.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. Car
washes. We gotta give a bunch of car washes.
There'll be soap involved.
I really want to. We got some tour plans that aren't announced yet for the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Which I'm really excited about. But and then this time next year, I want to be just killing some really killing some rooms and kind of the circuit that we've done now. I want to go back to Texas and do that and just continue to connect with people and all what you guys said was really cool, and I really liked all that. The continuing, remembering,
Write the best songs.
Yeah, and writing the best songs.
That's true.
And weirdly, to speak what you were talking about, when we first met him, I feel like I've known him. He was talking about it's almost like tour days spent together are dog years.
Yeah, sure.
and it's true. And now I feel like it seems forever ago, and that was in March.
This is
Wow.
just this
7
year.
months
That's
ago.
not that long.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That was March this year.
It was this year.
We were
Wow.
different people in a different band even then, and
I was a completely different I view myself from that point. That was kind of around then was a turning point for me where I was all right, I'm starting to really like the work that I'm doing, and other people and the band specifically are starting to give me high praise.
Notice,
and that was kind of around the time where I started to think about like, all right, I think I need to quit my job, like
I
that
remember
kind
you
of stuff.
talking about
And
that.
so like, I feel like that's been years since I've quit my job, and I quit my job in May to do this. So it's like it is kind of wild, like. And I don't know. I'm not sure how many shows exactly I've done with you guys, but I mean, I've done 2 runs with them plus plus the Athens thing. So it's, not a whole lot of time, but it feels like I really do feel like I've known you guys for a long time. And like this is truly a band that I listen to them every day. Like
That's awesome.
They have a song, and I don't know. You guys can tell me, but there's a song that I really like of theirs called "Calling It Off," and that's like really. I swear I tell them all the time. It's like one of my favorite songs of all time. So every time I get to like shoot their shows, and I'm hearing this music that I actually listen to regularly, I like makes me feel like I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? Like finally working with bands that I like really like love their music and
soul gig,
but they also love me and respect what I'm doing for them, and like that's all I can ask for. So like this. Can't say enough good things about these guys.
That's
like,
awesome,
they really
man.
are
Likewise.
some of my best friends at this point. So
You the man, G.
Yeah, man. I
Okay.
think you've really been honing your craft too, Garrett. I thought that the live wire pictures, we've probably done like 4 rounds of pictures together.
yeah, I think so.
I thought that they were significantly like the best ones yet, and I
Yeah.
liked all the others too. I was like, damn, he's getting good.
And that's
Yeah,
a
sick.
product of me. Just like
Good.
I've been really trying to just try new stuff, like, and try new techniques and stuff. And that's like I've found that that's the best way for me to progress lately is just to take liberties and.
Okay.
Like with the flash and everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, you ask the Stews, like when I first started working for them, I was
Yeah.
talking about how much I hated flash photography and like it's annoying to me that people use flashes in concerts because it's distracting. But then I kind of was like, you know what?
You got to
I
sometimes.
don't know, maybe it is one of those things that like
Yeah.
does make your pictures look better if you know how to use it right. So I don't know. I mean,
That makes sense.
but being with them this year has given me so much time to like get better, and I can definitely say like it's been so much fucking fun.
That's
Really
awesome,
has.
man. Love it.
Totally.
You guys talk about it really well. You're very well versed. All 5 of you guys are very
Jameson,
great
thanks
answers.
thanks for having us on.
No problem. It was a
That
pleasure.
was
It's a
so sweet, and
that was
we
great.
we got to go check out that guitar and also
have to.
check
We have
out
to.
some of the new merch.
What? There's new merch. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's coming out. I want to ask you guys one more thing before you go. Do you guys have, let me think. I want to ask one more heater. We're at 100 minutes, so I probably should let y'all go. Let's see. What is the favorite Easy Honey show you've been to and performed in? Performed in.
I'll start this one.
All
Hit it.
time.
All time.
Caverns. We opened for our buddies at Boy Named Banjo, which is a venue in
Oh.
Tennessee.
Really? I think they're a big band now, right? Are they a
Yeah,
bigger band?
they're doing awesome stuff, man. But we played in the Caverns, and that was super cool for us. I don't know. I felt really. It was a
Awesome.
sweet venue. It's in a cave,
Oh, sick.
straight up in a cave,
Wicked.
like 1,000 cap room in a cave.
Yeah.
Can't ask for more than that.
Sheesh. That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
What
Red-
town?
Red Rocks of the South, Pelham, Tennessee.
Pelham,
Oh,
Tennessee.
sick,
yeah.
dude. That sounds great.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
great.
Go check a show out if you ever.
I will.
Yeah, can.
I would absolutely do that.
That was one of the ones I was going to pick too. But we played a really good show at the Poorhouse in Charleston.
Nice.
And it's a bigger room,
Yeah.
like 500 plus, and we ended up selling it out, and it was like a
That's a lot of tickets,
stepping
man.
moment where I think we were just like, whoa, sweet.
That's
we set
hype,
our we
man.
set our sights on it, and we were like, yeah, it's gonna go down.
Sweet.
We'll work
That's
to
awesome.
it. Yeah, it's a cool one.
Interesting. Repeat answers are accepted.
That one was rocking. It was so because that was like we had our eyes set on it. It was
Yeah.
the end of our summer tour, so it was this like culmination of sorts. And we
Yeah.
ended up doing the damn thing. Selling
Let's
it out.
go.
But Pearl Street Warehouse we played
New
most
York City?
recently.
Or DC?
DC.
DC. Nice.
We played this past summer as headliner for the first time
That's
and
wicked.
sold it out. And it was like,
What?
and the guy, dude, yeah, the owner is awesome, man. But he's like a really sweet dude, James, I think.
Yeah.
And he like came up with like shots, and he was like so sincerely like,
Yeah.
"Fucking sold it out, guys." And it was just like this like uplifting moment.
Yeah.
And it's at a point in the tour too where we were like, it was just like, we needed like some encouragement and positive.
Dude,
Yes,
I remember
yeah.
they were playing like halfway through their set. That guy James, he comes up and taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Guess what, man?" I was like, What? I don't even know who this guy is. What?
Why are you talking to me?
These guys just sold this bitch out. He's like, what kind of shots do they want? I was like, Jameson? I don't know. I think it was Jameson. I don't know why I always default to that when somebody asks about shots. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to hijack your thing. But
no, that was it.
I just remember that specifically about the Pearl Street show.
That's awesome.
He was so stoked, man. I've never seen like a venue like GM like be so happy about something.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah. How about you?
How am I driving this thing? No, so that was another callback. Sorry.
No, you're good. Call
Hey, inside jokes.
Hey, 30 seconds on this one.
Okay. I was gonna say
Make it 60 to prove a point.
60 to prove a point.
I love it.
No, 30's fine.
Okay, so
28.
you guys are killing me over here. I was thinking while Garrett was talking about listening to the song every day. Subtle flex is that means more to me, I think, than standing up and playing any show in front of any amount of people, of someone listening to the song that we made in their car.
That's awesome.
Because again, I'm really into, going back to, it's like falling in love with music in your car when you're 16, you just started driving again. When someone drives around and listens, that means just as much, if not more.
Those tunes hit different when it's like that. When you just got a fresh whip, CD probably.
Fresh whip and a fresh breakup, maybe.
Yeah. Those songs be hitting, man. You're right. You're right.
Because those are the real life moments, and playing live is like a real life moment too. But I don't know. It's we pride ourselves on championing the fantastical and mundane alike.
I love it. Good answer, man.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Thank
good.
You.
Cardoso?
Pearl Street in DC
Pearl Street
was
as
definitely
well?
fun. That was an awesome show. The Denver show that we did recently, I feel like I remember telling you guys that y'all just absolutely killed it after that. I thought that, it was a lot of y'all friends were there, and like the crowd was really good and everybody was into it. Like I felt the energy from you guys and from the crowd, and that's the same kind of thing with Pearl Street. It was just like the whole crowd was just going crazy the whole time, and they felt good about it, and everybody was stoked afterwards. And I don't know, I mean, but in general, like just good nights that we've had. Boston was one of those nights that I feel like was a lot of fun because of the hangs and everything. But yeah, a lot of good times with these guys. But
good answer. I like it. I actually have one more quick one. You only get one word on this one, or one band name on this one. What's the favorite band you've ever played with individually? And then we're gonna call this thing, man.
Dogwood Tales.
The Stews, man. The Stews.
Yeah, nice. How about down here? I've never heard of this band. What was it?
They're from Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Sick. I'll look them up.
Home of Illiterate Light as well. Which is another band, but Dogwood Tales. We play with them.
Tales.
Really good.
Need two more answers and we're out of here. Plus, Garrett, you can say your favorite one you've seen him with. We'll count that.
Yeah, Connie Danger.
Connie Danger. I've never heard of that either.
Shout out to Connie Danger.
Both times. Probably the first time just because it was the first time of me seeing his time. There was a little more disco in that performance.
Sweet. Last answer?
Can you help me out? I don't know.
I was going to say...
For some reason, I'm really blanking on this.
What was that kid that
Barney?
opened for you guys in Denver? Was really good.
Oh,
I liked
Elijah.
that kid a lot.
Nick-
was it
Nick
like
Menchaca.
Menchaca
he
or
was really
something? That kid
cool.
was really
or
cool.
Barney.
Oh, Boy Named
great.
Banjo.
Yeah, Boy Named Banjo.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good answer.
Yeah.
I feel like they're big time now, right? They're killing, right?
They
If
kill
I'm
it.
singing to the same group.
They are killing it, dude.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys for coming on, man. I appreciate you all. Thank you all. Nice to meet you guys. Feel like we're homies now. I'm gonna count you guys as homies. Hope that's okay.
You're on the team,
Part of
James.
the
We're on the
Yeah,
team. We're on the
dude.
team. So thank you all for coming in. Thank you watching. If you made it, let's see, 105 minutes in, we appreciate that. This will probably be like the longest episode in a couple months. So good for
Good
y'all.
on you if you
That's
did.
how you know it went good. That's how you know. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Subscribe to the show. We got reels and shit on Instagram. What else? Check us out on Instagram, Jameson OTR, Easy Honey on Instagram, I believe. Tell them where you want them to follow you guys anywhere, Spotify, any of that stuff.
Spotify.
Algorithm.
Go check out our Instagram. Go check out our website, our TikTok. We're on all this stuff, whatever.
You guys' website's great. I thought
Thanks.
it was dope. Thought it was very well put together.
Dude, yeah,
It looked
it's,
nice.
it's new. This man led the charge on
Right here?
this. Yeah.
As
Looks
in,
great.
I helped pick the guy who made the website. Aaron
That's a lot.
Utterback. Aaron Utterback.
And
Everybody.
everybody. Sweet. Nice. All right, you guys, let's log out of here. Let's give the camera a wave for the thumbnail. Everybody get real close. Smile, smile. I'm going to lean in a lot, make sure I'm in this guy. Thumbs up. Nice. All right. See ya.